There is a moment in every person's life when they realize that the life they are living did not happen all at once. It was built quietly. It was built in the mornings when they decided whether to get up or stay in bed. It was built in the moments when they chose discipline over comfort, preparation over procrastination, courage over fear, and growth over excuses. Your life is not created only by the big decisions you make once in a while. It is created by the small decisions you make repeatedly when nobody is watching. And that is why your daily choices matter more than you think. You may be waiting for a major breakthrough. You may be waiting for the right opportunity, the right relationship, the right job, the right amount of money, the right moment to finally become the person you know you can be. But sometimes the breakthrough you're waiting for is hidden inside an ordinary decision. It is hidden inside the choice to wake up 30 minutes earlier. It is hidden inside the decision to stop arguing with people who drain you. It is hidden inside opening the book instead of scrolling your phone. It is hidden inside keeping a promise you made to yourself. The direction of your life can change without your circumstances changing overnight. You simply start making different choices. Think about where you are today. Your habits, your relationships, your physical condition, your knowledge, your confidence, your financial situation, your emotional patterns. Many of these things are connected to choices you have repeated over time. That does not mean everything that happens to you is your fault. Life contains circumstances none of us can control. People experience loss, disappointment, injustice, failure, and unexpected obstacles. But even when you cannot control what happens, you still have some control over what you do next. That is where your power begins. You don't need to control your entire life today. You only need to take responsibility for the next choice. The problem is that most people underestimate the power of small decisions because small decisions rarely produce immediate results. If you exercise today, you probably won't wake up tomorrow looking like a different person. If you read 10 pages tonight, you won't suddenly become an expert. If you save a little money this week, you may not feel financially free. If you practice a skill for 30 minutes, nobody may notice, but something is changing. You're becoming someone different. Every choice is a vote for the person you're becoming. When you repeatedly choose discipline, you're voting for a disciplined identity. When you repeatedly choose learning, you're voting for an educated mind. When you choose patience instead of reacting emotionally, you're voting for emotional maturity. When you choose to finish what you started, you're teaching yourself that your word has value. And eventually those votes become your character. Your character then influences your habits. Your habits influence your actions. Your actions influence your results, and your results begin shaping the life you experience. That is why transformation does not begin with changing your entire life. It begins with changing what you repeatedly do. One of the most important choices you can master is the choice of how you begin your day. The first hour of your day can become a battlefield for your attention. You wake up and immediately reach for your phone. Notifications enter your mind before you have even decided what matters. You consume other people's opinions, problems, advertisements, arguments, and entertainment before you have had a chance to think about your own life. Then you wonder why you feel distracted. You gave away your attention before you gave yourself direction. Try something different. When you wake up, don't immediately ask, "What is everyone else doing?" Ask yourself, "What do I need to accomplish today to make today meaningful?" That one question can change the way you approach your morning. You don't need an elaborate routine, you need intention. Get up, make your bed, drink some water, move your body, sit quietly for a few minutes. Write down what matters, decide what must be done, then begin. The objective is not to create a perfect morning. The objective is to stop beginning your day accidentally. Because when you begin the day intentionally, you remind yourself that you are not merely reacting to life. You are participating in the creation of it. Another choice that can transform your life is the choice to protect your attention. Your attention is one of the most valuable resources you possess. Money can be earned again. Time cannot. Attention can be redirected, but once hours disappear into meaningless consumption, you cannot recover them. Every day something is competing for your attention. Your phone wants it, social media wants it, entertainment wants it, other people's problems want it, fear wants it, anger wants it, comparison wants it. If you do not decide where your attention goes, somebody else will decide for you. This is why you must become selective. Not everything deserves a response. Not every argument deserves your energy. Not every notification deserves your attention. Not every opportunity deserves a yes. Not every person deserves unlimited access to you. Maturity is partly learning what to ignore. There will always be people who misunderstand you. There will always be critics. There will always be someone who thinks your goals are unrealistic. There will always be someone who has an opinion about how you should live. You cannot build a meaningful life while constantly trying to satisfy everyone else's expectations. At some point, you have to make a decision. You have to decide what matters to you. You have to decide what kind of person you want to become. And then you have to organize your daily choices around that decision. This brings us to another powerful principle. Stop negotiating with the commitments that matter most. Every morning, many people negotiate with themselves. I'll exercise tomorrow. I'll start next week. I'll read later. I'll work on my business when I have more time. I'll stop wasting money when I earn more. I'll change when things become easier. The problem is that tomorrow keeps moving. There is always another reason to postpone. If you constantly wait until you feel motivated, your progress will always depend on your emotions. But emotions change. Discipline gives you something more reliable. You do not have to feel like doing something to do it. Sometimes you simply need to decide that it matters. There will be mornings when you don't feel energetic. Work anyway. There will be days when you doubt yourself. Continue anyway. There will be moments when nobody encourages you. Encourage yourself. There will be periods when progress seems invisible. Keep building. The strongest people are not necessarily those who always feel confident. They are often the people who have learned how to act even when confidence is absent. That is what mastery of daily choices looks like. It means you stop asking, "Do I feel like doing this?" and you start asking, "Is this the choice that serves the person I want to become?" That question changes everything. Imagine you're trying to become financially responsible. You walk into a store and see something you want. The old question is, can I afford this? A better question is, does buying this support the life I'm trying to build? Those questions sound similar, but they are not. One focuses on immediate permission. The other focuses on long-term purpose. The same principle applies everywhere. Before you speak, ask whether your words will improve the situation. Before you react, ask whether your reaction will make you stronger or weaker. Before you accept an opportunity, ask whether it moves you toward your goals. Before you spend your evening, ask whether the activity deserves the hours you're giving it. Your life becomes clearer when your decisions are connected to your values. And this is where many people struggle. They know what they want, but their daily choices contradict it. They want health, but constantly choose habits that damage it. They want financial freedom, but constantly spend without planning. They want knowledge, but rarely study. They want confidence, but continually avoid difficult situations. They want peace, but constantly involve themselves in unnecessary conflict. They want success, but spend most of their time consuming rather than creating. The solution is not to hate yourself. The solution is to become honest with yourself. Ask, what choices am I making repeatedly that are producing the life I say I don't want? That question can be uncomfortable. But discomfort can be useful when it leads to awareness. You cannot change what you refuse to acknowledge. Maybe you need to admit that you're spending too much time distracted. Maybe you need to admit that you keep making promises to yourself and breaking them. Maybe you need to admit that certain relationships are keeping you stuck. Maybe you need to admit that fear has been making more decisions for you than courage. Maybe you need to admit that you have been waiting for someone else to give you permission to become who you want to be. Be honest, not cruel, honest, because self-awareness is not self-criticism. Self-awareness simply says, this is where I am, and responsibility says, this is where I go from here. Do not spend another year punishing yourself for choices you made when you didn't know what you know today. Learn from them. Take the lesson, then choose differently. Your past can explain you without controlling you. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to outgrow old habits. You're allowed to become more disciplined. You're allowed to change your environment. You are allowed to stop participating in patterns that no longer serve you, but you must choose that change repeatedly, because one decision can start transformation, but repeated decisions sustain it. Think about the compound effect. A small improvement repeated every day may look insignificant in the beginning, but months later, the difference becomes visible. A year later, it can become undeniable. The person who reads every day becomes more knowledgeable. The person who exercises consistently becomes stronger. The person who saves consistently becomes more financially secure. The person who practices consistently becomes more skilled. The person who controls their reactions becomes calmer. The person who keeps promises to themselves becomes more confident. Confidence is not always something you think your way into. Sometimes confidence is something you build by proving to yourself that you can trust yourself. Every time you say you will do something and then do it, you strengthen that relationship. Every time you make a promise and break it, you weaken it. So start making smaller promises. Don't tell yourself you're going to completely transform your life tomorrow. Tell yourself you will spend 20 minutes learning. Tell yourself you will take a walk. Tell yourself you will finish one important task. Tell yourself you will put your phone away for an hour, then keep that promise tomorrow, make another one. This is how self-respect grows, quietly, repeatedly, without applause. And eventually you look back and realize that the person you wanted to become was being built through hundreds of ordinary choices. There is another choice you must learn to master, the choice to delay gratification. Modern life constantly teaches us to want everything immediately. Immediate entertainment, immediate answers, immediate pleasure, immediate recognition, immediate results, but meaningful achievements usually require patience. The ability to say, "Not now," is one of the greatest forms of personal power. Not now, I have something more important to do. Not now, I'm building something. Not now, I'm investing in my future. Not now, I don't need this distraction. The person who can sacrifice a little comfort today for a better tomorrow has an enormous advantage over someone who always chooses what feels good in the moment. You do not have to eliminate pleasure. You simply need to put it in its proper place. Work first, then rest. Create before you consume. Save before you spend. Learn before you complain that you don't know. Prepare before you demand opportunity. The quality of your life improves when your priorities become stronger than your impulses. And remember this, you don't need to win every decision. You need to become better at recovering from bad ones. You will still procrastinate sometimes. You will still lose your temper. You will still waste an afternoon. You will still make mistakes. You will still choose comfort when you should have chosen courage. That does not mean you have failed. It means you're a human. The danger is not making a bad choice. The danger is turning one bad choice into an identity. You eat poorly one day. Fine. Don't turn it into a week. You miss a workout? Fine. Don't turn it into quitting. You waste money. Learn. Don't continue repeating the pattern. You lose focus. Reset. The ability to reset quickly is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. You don't need a perfect streak. You need the courage to begin again. There is also a choice that many people overlook, choosing your environment. Your environment influences your behavior more than you may realize. If you constantly surround yourself with people who complain, eventually negativity begins to feel normal. If you surround yourself with people who are ambitious, disciplined, and curious, their standards can influence yours. This doesn't mean abandoning everyone who is struggling. It means becoming conscious of what you allow to dominate your environment. Choose conversations that make you think. Choose people who challenge you to grow. Choose books that expand your perspective. Choose environments where your goals are respected, and when necessary, spend time alone. Solitude can reveal things that noise hides. When you're constantly surrounded by entertainment and conversation, you can avoid asking yourself difficult questions. But when everything becomes quiet, you begin to hear your own thoughts. You begin to realize what you actually want. You begin to notice what has been bothering you. You begin to see where you have been compromising yourself. And sometimes the most important decision you can make is simply to sit quietly long enough to listen. Your life does not need to become complicated. In fact, transformation often becomes easier when you simplify. Choose a few priorities, choose a few habits, choose a few principles, then practice them relentlessly. Wake up with intention, move your body, learn something, do meaningful works. Spend carefully, speak thoughtfully, protect your attention, keep your promises, rest when necessary, reflect at the end of the day, then wake up and do it again. That may not sound dramatic, but extraordinary lives are often built through ordinary actions performed consistently. Stop looking for the perfect system. Stop searching for the secret that will eliminate all struggle. There is no magical morning where you suddenly become disciplined forever. There is simply today, and today gives you choices. You can choose to complain or choose to act. You can choose distraction or focus. You can choose resentment or acceptance. You can choose excuses or responsibility. You can choose fear or courage. You can choose to remain where you are or take one step forward. You may not control the entire road ahead, but you can control the next step. And sometimes the next step is enough. So when you finish listening to this, don't just feel motivated. Do something, take a piece of paper and write down 3 choices you need to change. Maybe you need to wake up earlier. Maybe you need to stop spending so much time on your phone. Maybe you need to start exercising. Maybe you need to learn a valuable skill. Maybe you need to stop chasing approval. Maybe you need to organize your finances. Maybe you need to finish something you have been postponing. Choose 3, not 33. Then make them specific. Don't say, "I will become disciplined." Say, "I will work on my most important task for 1 uninterrupted hour every morning." Don't say, "I will get healthy." Say, "I will walk or exercise for 30 minutes 5 days this week." Don't say, "I will waste less time." Say, "I will keep my phone away from me during my first hour of work." Specific choices create specific actions. Specific actions create habits. Habits create character, character shapes destiny, and this is the deeper message. Your future is not waiting somewhere far away for you to discover it. Your future is being constructed in the decisions you're making today. The person you will be 5 years from now is being influenced by what you repeatedly choose this week. The life you want is asking you to become the person capable of living it. That requires choices. It requires saying no when everyone else says yes. It requires continuing when results are slow. It requires learning when ignorance would be easier. It requires taking responsibility when blaming others would feel better. It requires choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort. And perhaps most importantly, it requires believing that your choices matter, because they do. One decision may seem small, but decisions repeated over hundreds of days are not small anymore. They become your lifestyle. Your lifestyle becomes your reality. So don't underestimate today. Don't underestimate the next hour. Don't underestimate the next conversation. Don't underestimate the next decision. You may think you're simply choosing what to do tonight, but you're also practicing becoming someone. You're becoming either more disciplined or more comfortable with avoiding discipline. You're becoming either more focused or more comfortable with distraction. You're becoming either more courageous or more comfortable with fear. Every day is training. Every choice is practice. Every action is a vote. And the beautiful thing is that you get another vote tomorrow. If you have made poor choices, choose better today. If you have wasted time, use the next hour wisely. If you have failed, learn from it. If you have lost confidence, rebuild it through action. If you have been waiting, begin. Your life does not need to change all at once. It needs to change direction. And direction is determined by choices. So choose carefully. Choose intentionally. Choose patiently. Choose courageously. Choose the things your future self will thank you for, because one day you will look back at this period of your life, and you will remember the decisions you made when nobody was watching. You will remember the mornings when you chose discipline, the nights when you chose preparation, the moments when you wanted to quit but continued, the distractions you walked away from, the habits you finally broke, the promises you finally kept, and you will understand something that may be difficult to see right now. Your life was changing long before the results became visible. It was changing every time you chose growth, every time you chose responsibility, every time you chose patience, every time you chose yourself. So don't wait for your life to become perfect before you start living intentionally. Start with today. Master today. Make one better decision, then another, then another. And eventually those decisions will take you somewhere your old habits never could. Your circumstances may not change overnight, but you can change the person who faces them. And when you change the person, you change the possibilities. That is where transformation begins. Not someday, not when everything is easier, not when you finally feel ready. It begins with the next choice. Make it count.